jackpot this time.
I got an elevator.
Now that we have finished our external light check, we will go ahead and exit the truck with 3 points of contact and start our pre-trip inspection. Starting with my light lenses and covers. They're properly mounted and secured. Not bent, broken, or cracked, not damaged. My lenses and covers are the proper color and they're clean. I have no leaks up under my truck. My truck is not leaning to the left or to the right. Now I'm going to go ahead and open my hood. My coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked, no leaks, and my cap is present and tight. My general hoses, they're properly mounted and secured on both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and there are no leaks. My power steering reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked, and it's filled to the proper level, and there's no leaks. My cap is present and tight. My oil filler and dipstick is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no leaks. To check my oil, I will take out my oil filler dipstick. I will wipe it, reinsert it, take it back out, making sure my oil level is filled between the add and the full mark. My power steering linkage is properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. It has no more than 10 degrees of play. My U-joints, they're properly mounted and secured. They're not worn or loose, and they're well greased. My steering gearbox is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no leaks. My power steering hoses and connections are properly mounted and secured on both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and there are no leaks. My pitman arm, my drag link, my upper control arm, and my lower control arm, and my tie rod is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. My shock absorber is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no leaks. My spring mounts on both ends, I have 2 of them. One way back there, you can't really see it from right here, but I have 2 spring mounts. Properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no missing parts. My leaf springs, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not shifted, and no missing parts. My U-bolts are properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and no missing parts. My brake hoses and brake lines, they're properly mounted and secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and no leaks. Going to my brake drum and my brake pad, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no oil, no grease. My tire is properly mounted and secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no leaks, it's evenly worn, and I have no less than 432 seconds. My rim is properly mounted and secured, no illegal welds. And if I wanted to check the air pressure on my tire, I would use an air gauge, and I would make sure I have no less than 100 psi, and my valve cap is present and tight. Going to my lug nuts, this is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no missing parts, no shiny threads or rust that indicates looseness, and they're present and tight. We're going to go ahead and go to the mirror. It's properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not damaged. Going to the lenses and reflectors to the side of the truck. Properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not damaged. They're the proper color and clean. My fuel tank is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no leaks, and my cap is present and tight. My fuel lines and fuel hoses are properly mounted and secured on both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and there are no leaks. Moving on to the frame. My frame is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and there are no illegal welds. My battery cover and my batteries, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not damaged, and there's no excessive corrosion around my connectors. Okay, right here we have the service line and the emergency line. They're properly mounted and secured on both ends. They have no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and there are no leaks. Moving on up to my Glad hands. They're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and my Glad hands are in my locking position. My rubber seals. They have no splits or cuts, and they're not damaged. My electrical line is properly mounted and secured on both ends. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no exposed wiring. My safety latch is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and my safety latch is in the locking position on both ends. My platform and my mounting bolts, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and there's no missing parts. My safety latch and my release handle, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, and my safety latch is in the locking position. My apron and my skid plate is properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. It's well greased, and there's no daylight or gap in between my apron and my skid plate. My locking jaw and kingpin, it's properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked, and my locking jaw is wrapped around my kingpin. I have enough clearance between my mud flap and my landing gear to make turns. Now I'm gonna move on to my landing gear. It's properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. My landing gear legs are in the travel position. My landing gear arm are in the locking position. The side of my trailer, my DOT reflector tape, is properly mounted and secured. It's not damaged. It's the proper color and it's clean. I'm gonna move to the back of the trailer. Okay, the back of the trailer is properly, the lenses and reflectors, they're properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. They're not damaged. They're the proper color and clean. My DOT reflector tape is properly mounted and secured. It's not damaged. It's the proper color. That concludes my pre-trip, and now I'm ready to move to the next step.
I gotta elevate. I've been praying to God for a better way. I concentrate on my